Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back. Welcome to this day 2 of our annual European Digital Innovation Hubs event. I'm just going to have a little bit of a recap on what we did yesterday, present the agenda for today. The actual event itself today is going to start, the first speech is going to be at 9:15. So right now I'm just going to give you a little bit of information, some feedback, and then come back again maybe about 9:10 to just give you the last information before we kick off. So yesterday was an amazing day, like really amazing day. We had a peak of 1,600 people connected for the speech of Xavier Bettel, the Prime Minister of Luxembourg, and we also had the same amount of people stayed online for Commissioner Breton, both of who came some excellent inspirational and really motivating words. We had 1,300 questions in the questions and answer section. Again, I'd like to remind you, please don't ask your questions in the chat. That's really just for you guys to speak to each other. If you want to ask a question to people who are here in the studio or connecting remotely, please do it in the questions and answers. Yesterday we also had 20 sessions throughout the day with over 40 speakers, all of them most excellent people from both academia, business and government. We had an average of 500 delegates who are logged in per session. So of those 20 sessions during the day, 500 on average on each. I just want to also mention there is a feedback form that has been sent to everybody, and you can also find it on the platform if you've deleted it or if it's gone to spam. It is important, you know, there's a lot of effort gone into these events, and I think the speakers and the organizers themselves would be really interested to get feedback to make sure that future events that go better. So with that, with just maybe a look at the platform that you're on today, there are some virtual booths that you can go and look at. I believe they're in the top right-hand side of the portal. There's around 15 different entities that are there. There are people virtually on those booths, so please go and visit them. I think there's also the time that they're going to be available to talk live with you. There's a Twitter feed that's going through there as well, and there's also the agenda for the day. So at 9:15 we're going to kick off. We'll have a little video showcasing Luxembourg and its integration within Europe as far as the digital innovation hubs go. And yesterday I was quite happy that I don't have to call them European Digital Innovation Hubs anymore. I can refer to them as an EDIH, which is perfect for me. After that we'll have a speech by Minister Fayot, who is our Minister of the Economy. And then that will be followed up by a speech by the Chief Executive Officer of the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology. Following that we will have the prize giving for the EDIH or e-dih challenge. So I'm sure that everybody's quite excited to see who's gonna take that away. So I'm gonna leave you for now, and then we will be back in, let's see, in about another 5 or 6 minutes, just to recap, and then we'll kick off at 9:15.
Innovation has always been the driving force behind evolution. The greatest civilizations have also been the most innovative. The traces left are testimony to this wealth. Innovation can be technological, industrial, or strategic, but also environmental and social. Today, new digital technologies are developing at a speed never seen before and impact all aspects of our lives. More than ever, digital technologies are crucial for developing our economy, creating new jobs, and safeguarding our societies and our values. And Europe is ready. Building a network to facilitate the sharing of digital expertise and infrastructure is the cornerstone of the European Commission's vision. Today, all European companies, public services and associations must have easy access to Europe's digital experts, infrastructures and ecosystems that are ready to help them succeed with their digital transformation. This is why the European Digital Innovation Hubs exist, and why the network of European Digital Innovation Hubs will contribute to shaping Europe's digital future. Welcome to Luxembourg and the first European Digital Innovation Hubs Conference. let's gear up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And here we are, the start of day 2 of our European Digital Innovation Hub's online conference. Yesterday we had an amazing day. We had 1,600 simultaneous connected people at the morning. I'm going to give you an update of that figure for today. We're already just passing 700 people online at the moment. We will have a kick-off speech by our Minister of the Economy, Mr. Frans Faiyot. We'll have a speech by Lucilla Scioli, who is the Director of AI and Digital Innovation within DG Connect. And then we have the CEO of the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology, who will be joining us for a keynote speech before we start the agenda for the day. So to get us started and to help you get through that first cup of coffee of the morning, here's a little video showcasing some technology and Luxembourg's integration with the European Digital Innovation Hub network.
Dear participants, good morning and welcome to the second day of this conference. No one would have imagined gathering as many people online for a mostly virtual conference. Yet, here we are, behind our desks, in our offices or at home, but virtually united in Luxembourg to collaborate and share ideas in a digital world. The relevant technologies and their adoption have been imposed on us. All of this has happened at a speed that we knew existed, but could not have predicted. Yet, a new digital baseline of communication and exchanging is defined and will remain, partially or not, depending on the sectors. Hence, for me as Minister of the Economy, one of the major aims is to support our companies and industry to adapt, to be resilient and to be prepared for this new digital normal. Located at the heart of Europe, Luxembourg already belongs to the innovation leaders of the Union, according to the latest European Innovation Scoreboard. This is mainly due to our attractive and dynamic research and innovation ecosystem. At the Ministry of Economy, we provide multiple support schemes for R&D or innovation projects of companies. We strongly encourage companies to collaborate with key actors of public research. The Luxembourg University and its interdisciplinary centers operation model is based on industry cooperation. The Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology is a mission-driven research center active in the fields of material and environment science as well as digital transformation. Thomas Kalstenius, the CEO of LIST, will address you as keynote speaker just after my opening speech. I strongly believe that innovation is the main driver for qualitative growth and sustainable diversification of our economy. The strategy developed by my ministry intends to accelerate the data-driven innovation for a competitive and sustainable economy across all key industrial sectors of economic development. In this context, sectors such as Industry 4.0, eco-technologies, health tech, logistics, and space are of particular interest. The key words of our ambition are data-driven and sustainable, and as such, aligned with the twin transition put forward by the European Commission. At the level of the digital infrastructure, Luxembourg has always chosen to take key initiatives and prepare the future, be it regarding international connectivity, broadband, or data centers. Luxembourg also joined right from the beginning the Euro HPC initiative aiming to set up a European network of calculation power and HPC supercomputers across Europe. We have now invested in our own supercomputer, which will be up and running later this year and will then join the European HPC network. As such, it is available for national stakeholders, but also to European collaborations. Further, our cybersecurity infrastructure and services are very mature and close to the field thanks to a diversified ecosystem of cybersecurity initiative, be it for incident response or for providing security enhancement services. All those initiatives, like the Cybersecurity Competence Center, the Computer Incident Response Center, and the Cyber World Awareness, are linked together under the Security Made in LU umbrella and support companies regarding the crucial topic of cybersecurity. The support and counsel provided to companies is key when we want them to become more resilient and take large steps towards innovation. Lux Innovation, our national innovation agency, has a customer-centric approach aimed at guiding companies and industries with regard to RDI support on national or European level or acceleration programs. Among others, Lux Innovation also supports companies that address the challenges of our digital world. This is also where the Luxembourg Digital Innovation Hub plays a key role. Hosted and managed by Lux Innovation, the Luxembourg Digital Innovation Hub is set up in partnership with core partners such as the National Industry Federation, the Chamber of Commerce, the National Research Fund, the University of Luxembourg, and LIST. The aim of the Luxembourg Digital Innovation Hub is to support companies in their digital transformation with a strong focus on Industry 4.0 and relying on our main technology competences like HPC, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. Today, several speakers will explain to you more in detail what our Digital Innovation Hub is and how it operates. I would already like to emphasize 2 points regarding the European Digital Innovation Hubs. First, it is crucial for a Digital Innovation Hub to always keep in mind the final beneficiaries. Our SMEs, our industry, whatever sector a country decided to specialize in. The gathering of essential competences and know-how is key. I trust research centers, universities, and other service providers to come forward with most relevant opportunities and stimulate constructive collaborations. Second, we should always keep in mind that this is a European initiative. Collaborations should clearly reach beyond individual national hubs. As a small country, well integrated in a greater region with 3 neighboring countries, we value the knowledge of our neighbors and the exchange with them. As a potential future European Digital Innovation Hub, the cross-border cooperation and the reaching out for complementary expertise is key. The Digital Europe program, as well as the Horizon Europe program, also come in support of this European approach. I'm convinced that today's agenda will bring further opportunities to discuss those subjects. Thank you for participating in this event virtually hosted here in Luxembourg. I wish you all a great event.
Some inspirational words there from our Minister of the Economy, Mr. Franz Fayot. I think there's a lot of merit to be had in supporting the digitalization, the innovation, the growth of companies, whilst also, taking a lot of time trying to save companies that are going through some tough times at the moment. So a thought goes out to all of those companies that are going through some tough times as well. I'm really quite honored now to be able to introduce the next speaker, Lucilla Scioli, who is the Director of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Industry within DG Connect at the European Commission. Lucilla, thank you so much for being with us today. I pass the floor to you.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for joining this conference. As it was said earlier, there has been many of you yesterday, and there is many of you today, and so I wish the best to all of you for the day. I'm speaking to you from Brussels during my lockdown, as it is the case for many of you. And as it has been said a number of times, there is a lockdown, but digital technologies have helped to remain connected. And the digital innovation hubs have certainly helped, certainly in certain part of our economies. And what we think is that the network of the digital innovation hubs will be even more important to help companies and small medium enterprises and public administration in particular during the recovery. When we look ahead, not only we see the need of an economic recovery, but we also see a change in the way our industries and our economic sectors work. Europe has always been very strong in industrial sectors, and these industrial sectors have created a huge wave of industrial data. And we believe that our ability to use and exploit this data is going to be at the core of our recovery. The reason why this is the case is because data is not just data by themselves. Data are an instrument that will be processed, and nowadays we have access to very advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, which facilitate obviously the processing of the data and which will bring very clear economic gains to a number of applications in a variety of sectors. And the fact that we will have many data and that we are having an increasingly amount of data is also facilitated by an increasing amount of sensors that are capturing the data nearby, and that will also allow processing on the spot. So we expect to see, for example, on the factory floor in the future of Industry 4.0, an increasing amount of edge computing that will allow us to process data on time, that will facilitate the use of many real-time applications, from the artificial intelligence that enables and powers robots and machines to the use of digital twins. And these are going to be very important changes in our industrial sectors. And in order to facilitate those changes, we need to have a supporting infrastructure in terms of a federated cloud in the European Union. We're working very hard on that also with the help of the member states. And we will need new processors and semiconductor technologies enabling to power the edge computing transformation in all the sectors of the economy. And so to do that, we must be able to also become better at greening our industrial processes. So we will be making use of these new technologies to facilitate the greening and the green transformation of our industrial systems. But we will also have to make sure that the technologies green themselves. And so in our research program, in Horizon Europe, for example, we already have in our work program thought of introducing a number of calls and for projects in terms of helping us greening the impact of our technologies. In generally speaking, we want European technology that is able to be energy efficient, that is able to be secure, and that is able to be trusted. And when I mean trusted, I mean technology that respects privacy and that is generally speaking trustworthy also with the respect of other fundamental rights. From this point of view, we're working on a regulatory framework for artificial intelligence, which we will propose pretty soon. And the reason why I mention this is because I know that there is a number of hubs that are specialized in artificial intelligence, and we will be working with them very closely to make sure that they will also help us in the implementation of a regulatory framework and helping small and medium enterprises to adopt artificial intelligence. Generally speaking, we would like the hubs of the future to help small, medium enterprises and public administration take advantage of the revolution of the industrial data at this historical moment in time. And we need to move from a situation where data is of difficult access, very often in the hands of very concentrated markets, but also move into a world where the data is given the right value, where the data is used and accessed according to clear rules, where data becomes the fuel for a sustainable economy. And to do this, we need to create the trust, and we need to be able to rely on players and organizations like the Digital Innovation Hubs that can help businesses and that can help public administration to drive all the benefits of this new phase of the digital decade. So I'm happy to see so many people connected today. It's hubs, it's regions, it's national and European policymakers. And I really would like to not only wish a great workshop for you today, but really wish that all of us engage in this very important transformation that will be driven by the digital innovation hubs, because this is going to be the backbone of a digital economy and green economy that we need for the next decade and for the recovery. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Lucilla, thank you very much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to address us today. Some inspirational thoughts from you. So thank you for taking the time to join us today. Just for your information, we just hit 850 concurrent people on the platform at the moment. So for a day 2, there is still an awful lot of interest. Now, for those who were with us yesterday, you might have accompanied me for a little trip around the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology showroom downstairs, which showcases some of the key projects and research that's going on. Our next keynote speaker, Thomas Kalstenius, spent a moment correcting me this morning about my lack of knowledge of the research that's going on, and I apologize for that. But so our next keynote speaker, Thomas Kalstenius, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology. There you are, sir.
So thank you so much for that kind introduction, David. I think you did very well yesterday, I must say so. And good morning, Europe, and welcome to Digital Luxembourg. It's great to have you here. Hope you can make it in person next time. But since you couldn't make it here in person, I welcome you to Digital Luxembourg. And I wanted to take the first opportunity to show a bit how digital or Luxembourg looks like. Today it's actually snowing here. There's a tremendous amount of snow. But this is a bit how it can look like in the summer here in the Belval area, where LIST is located together with all the key research actors, for example, University of Luxembourg. You see the beautiful university building here with LIST just behind, universities, also interdisciplinary centers, the Luxembourg Institute of Health. And what is interesting is that this was all constructed in the last 15 years. When I came to Luxembourg the first time, and that was in 2002, there was hardly anything here in terms of research and innovation. There was no university, LIST didn't exist, Belval didn't exist. And this is one of the key points about doing research and innovation in Luxembourg. It's the speed and agility of this country. So I'd like to talk a bit about, why doing research and innovation in Luxembourg. And it's based basically on 4 different pillars. And the first is indeed the speed and agility. Luxembourg is a small country, as you know. We can never become the biggest, but we can be rather quick. We can be rather fast, and we can be rather agile. Luxembourg is about 600,000 people during the night, and we are about 800,000 people during the day. Each morning, 200,000 people travel into Luxembourg, and consequently, each night, 200,000 people travel out from Luxembourg. Of course, you can deduce from that Luxembourg is a small country with a lot of traffic jams, and I think that's a fair description of the country as such. But we are small, fast, and agile. But we also act as one team. Luxembourg, we act as one team, we call ourselves Research in Luxembourg, and it's based on the fact that we have in this country one university, and one university with the name, obviously, University of Luxembourg, and 3 research institutes, the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology, which I have the pleasure to lead since 2 years. And we work on 4 different domains. We work on material science, environmental science, informatics, and also space technologies. And we collaborate a lot with the Luxembourg Institute of Health, which, as the name suggests, works on health, and the Luxembourg Institute of Socioeconomics, LISER, which works on socioeconomics. Everything is quite clear and simple here in Luxembourg. Together with our funding agency, FNR, and our innovation agency, Lux Innovation, which is the host of this conference and also the leader of the Digital Innovation Hub here in Luxembourg, we are Research in Luxembourg. And we act as one team. Yes, we are different organizations, but we are first and foremost the Research in Luxembourg. The third pillar of research and innovation in Luxembourg is probably our location. So Luxembourg is very much in the continental Europe, center of the continental Europe, as you know, geographically. We are also very much in the center of the political Europe. We have a lot of European institutions here. We have the European Investment Bank, we have the European Court of Justice, part of the European Commission is here. And if we drive 2 hours in that direction, we get to Brussels and we find most of the rest of the European institutions. So we are somehow in the political center of Europe. And of course, we are also somehow close to the economic activities in Europe. There's a lot of economic activity, obviously in Luxembourg, but also in the neighboring countries around us. So Luxembourg is in a good position to be a window to Europe, as a small country, but in the heart of Europe with the typical European behaviors. And that brings me to the last point about Luxembourg. We like to think of ourselves as a digital testbed. And the idea behind this was that Luxembourg is small enough, 600,000 people during the night and 800,000 people during the day, as I said, to actually construct a full-fledged living lab and digital testbed and regulatory sandbox out of the country. And that is the initiative I would like to talk about now, is the National Digital Testbed, using Luxembourg as an experimental testbed for technology, for living labs, and for regulation. So you may ask yourself, why would we do that? Why would we create a national digital testbed? What's the purpose of it all? And let me step back to a particular date to illustrate the point. Let's step back to the 9th of August in 2019. I'm not sure if you remember this particular date, the 9th of August 2019. I remember it extremely well, and for most people in Luxembourg, they remember it quite well. Because something very unexpected happened in Luxembourg on the 9th of August in 2019. In the morning of the 9th of August 2019, the head of health and safety at LIST, Jean-Paul, he called me and he said, Thomas, we have a problem. And it's fair to say when Jean-Paul calls me, it's usually that we have a problem, since he's dealing with health and safety, and he calls me typically when we have an incident or so. So we said, yes, okay, we have a problem. What is the problem? And he told me then that there is a tornado in Luxembourg, in the Bachelage area, where LIST has one of our main laboratories. So this was completely unexpected. To my knowledge, this is the first time we have a significant tornado in this country, at least in the recent times. And it came with a lot of havoc. Actually, one of our labs was partly damaged, not so severe, fortunately, but there was a serious tornado. So there was an environmental impact, an environmental event which we really didn't see coming, but when it happened, it had severe consequences for the country. Interesting is that at the same date, on the 9th of August in 2019, a few hours later, there was a power outage in the United Kingdom. 1 million people lost their connection to the power grid. And at the same date, the 9th of August in 2019, the refueling system at the Schiphol airport malfunctioned and the planes were stranded and the logistics and the mobility stopped. All of this happened on the same date, the 9th of August 2019 in Europe, and these events were unexpected and they had severe consequences. And the question is, how can we build a society where we can protect ourselves against these events? How can we build a digital, more resilient society which can mitigate events like this? So let's talk a bit about resilience. What is resilience? Well, resilience, you could argue, is the capability of a system to withstand pressure. So here it's illustrated by a bank vault. The bank vault is typically, if you take a hammer and you bang on it, it will not break, right? So it's resilient, you would say. It feels intuitively that it's resilient. And what is the opposite of resilient? Well, it's probably something that is fragile, illustrated by a glass. So if you bang on a glass, it will break. It's fragile. That, I think, is intuitive. Now, what Nassim Taleb coined as the opposite of fragile is not resilient. It's what we call anti-fragile. There was no term for it before Nassim Taleb came along and coined this term. And anti-fragile is fundamentally a system that benefits from stress. A system that needs stress in order to improve. And at first you may think that sounds odd. Which system would benefit from stress? But actually, if you think around it, most systems in nature benefit from stress. Our body, for sure, benefit from stress. Our muscles need stress. If we train them, they will become bigger. If we don't, they will deteriorate. The same with our brain. We need to train our brain. If we train it, it will become smarter. If we don't do it, we will deteriorate. Our bone is anti-fragile. life is antifragile, our genetics is antifragile. We have to actually stress it in order for it to become better, otherwise it deteriorates. So it's actually a property of a lot of the surviving systems in nature that they have this property of antifragility, that they learn from the stress and they become better. So the question then comes, how can we apply this antifragility to a digital system and a digital twin? So that was the challenge we set up. Let's build a digital twin of the country, a digital replication of Luxembourg that can be used to understand the country as such, but also to predict how the country will be in the future. And actually, we even look into what was the past. We look into a time machine of Luxembourg, you know, going backwards in time. It's very interesting to see time here, in the future, and in the past. And let's build it in a way that it becomes antifragile, in a way that it learns from tornadoes, from energy problems, or from, you know, airport issues on logistics or mobility. So we simply build a learning system which is the digital twin of the country. Who could benefit from that? Well, we as researchers, at least, and the University of Luxembourg and other researchers, of course, this is a great platform for us. As an innovation platform, we can do a lot of interesting research on it. But also for our partners from the companies, they can also use it as a test bed to test their products and services in a very controlled environment with a technical test bed, but also with real people as a living lab. And we can even do policy experiments with it. And that's interesting for the public authorities, for the decision makers. To take better decisions, you need to try different policies, you know, test them against future scenarios. This is what we call scenario planning, and I will come back to that. But for public authorities, this is a very valuable tool, a controlled manner, let's say. And of course, for our citizens to simply provide a better quality of life for those who live here in Luxembourg and its vicinities. So that was the idea. And then we thought, okay, we can apply this to a number of different use cases. And we thought about urban planning, resource management, energy systems, mobility, and so forth. Great ideas, and then something happened. And this is life. Things happen which you cannot predict, but you have to somehow adapt. And what happened was that we all see something coming called the COVID-19 situation, where we suddenly had a pandemic on top of us. And the question was then, can we use this digital twin in some sense to do something about the pandemic? Can we use it to predict the pandemic, what would happen under different cases? So we changed direction and we started to build this, let's say, dashboard for the pandemic. And this is what you see here, a footage of our visualization wall, which is our, let's say, window to the digital twin. And this has been built together with all the research actors here. And what you can see here is how we can simulate the impact of different policy decisions. Shall we open the schools or shall we not open the schools? Shall we close the borders? Shall we not close the borders? What would happen if we open the restaurants, for example? And what would be the impact on the number of hospital beds, on the number of infections, what you see here? But what would also be the impact on the socioeconomics, which you see here? This was, you know, from the first wave. What would happen? Would we have a second wave under certain policy decisions? And how would the different sectors in our economy be affected? And also looking into the mobility and logistics, because we realized that the mobility and logistic chain must be preserved and enhanced using this tool. So we changed tack and we started to build, let's say, a control room for the pandemic using this technology. And that has served us very well. But now it's time to continue with this, of course, but turn back to another use case which we had in mind from the start. Here is, by the way, all the contributors to this interesting bed. So it was Luxembourg Institute of Health doing the health part, the LCSB doing the epidemiologic studies, socioeconomics came from Lux Innovation and LICER, and logistics came from Insert and University of Luxembourg together with us. But now we're turning our attention not away from this, because this is one of the use cases for our digital twin, but we are also looking to another use case which is very interesting for this country, and that is energy and electromobility. What is very specific when it comes to energy in this country is that we hardly produce any electricity here in the country in itself. We import almost all our electricity from our neighboring countries. So our grid is under a lot of stress here. And the question is how to build a resilient energy grid, considering that we have so much fluctuation on it, that we import so much, and frankly, that we also consume a lot of energy, specifically in our industry. We have a lot of industry in Luxembourg, and a lot of them actually consume energy. They even have their own grid for this purpose. So as you know, the energy grid is going through a big transformation, going from a very centralized way of producing energy, those were the big days, to, let's say, a situation where it's more distributed. And this distribution with new energy vectors like solar, like wind, but also intermittent storage like hydrogen, electric cars, points to a situation where we have a grid which is bidirectional, must include much more information, and is frankly much more fragile since we have much more fluctuations in the generation and also the usage of our energy. So be a little more precise, these are some of the questions which we are addressing in the digital twin for energy. We're looking into the distributed energy systems with the new energy vectors, indeed solar, wind, even hydrogen. And how can we build a resilience about it? A very specific question here is how we make a closed loop system, a real-time digital twin. Because here we have to take decisions, both sense and actuate within a short period of time. And it's what we call a closed loop system. We also need to do the long-term planning of the grid. At the same time, we must respect the short-term market dynamics, which is ongoing, because this is not only a technical system, it's also a market system. And the security and privacy questions associated with are tremendous. Let's say the attack surface on the energy grid has opened up tremendously much with all the great, let's say, smart meters we have in this country. So we have to, of course, look into different attack models for this digital twin of the energy systems. And on the analytics side, we are looking into a very specific discipline of artificial intelligence called Explainable AI. So Explainable AI, let's zoom into that for a moment. What is Explainable AI and why is it important? Well, today, artificial intelligence, some disciplines of artificial intelligence are very obscure. And you can see that in this graph here, where we basically illustrate different types of techniques for artificial intelligence, ranging from neural networks, which have a high degree of accuracy. They can produce fantastic results, but they are completely impossible to understand for human brain. We simply don't understand them. They are a black box. So the accuracy is high, but explainability is very low. On the other side of the spectrum, you have very simple things like classification rules. They're perfectly understandable for a human being, but the accuracy is not so well. And then you have a few techniques in between, like regression algorithms, decision trees, graphical models, support vector machines, ensemble methods, and so forth. But unfortunately, it's difficult to combine the accuracy of deep neural networks with the explainability of classification rules. And this is, of course, the aim of Explainable AI. This is where we aim for. We're not there yet. It's research after all. But we want to go to something which is close to the accuracy of a neural network, but with the explainability of a classification rule. And how we get there, yeah, that's research. We're working on it. But it's important. It's important for policymakers to understand. It's important for regulators to understand what the decisions are being taken in this type of networks of different types. So I think I will start to summarize a bit there. Basically, if you look to what we try to do here is to build a digital and resilient society. There are problems you choose, and there are problems that choose you. The pandemic was for sure not the problem we wanted. It came our way. We had to address it. We had no choice. And the question about resilience is not really something we choose either, but we have to do it. I believe it's our damn opportunity, but also obligation as a public research institute to address this. We have to build a resilient digital nation. And I invite you, because it's not only about building a digital resilient Luxembourg, it's about building a digital and resilient Europe. And we invite you to join us in our endeavor to do that. This is a European question, and we would love to work with you. Reach out and help us to build this digital resilient Europe, which we want to do. Thank you so much for your attention. It was a pleasure to be here. I wish you a great conference going forward. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Thomas. That was really quite enlightening, really. I mean, sometimes decisions are made and things happen. We're really not quite sure why. To see behind the scenes, I think their simulation dashboard for this pandemic is something, that, I mean, it's science fiction to most of us, but it really goes to show how much research and development applies to everyday life and makes decisions much easier for us. So, with that, we will get on to our next part of the agenda, which I'm sure there are several Digital Innovation Hub members there today who are quite excited for this part. This is the prize giving for the EDIH Challenge. For this, I would like to introduce, if I may, Begoña Sanchez, who is a member of the Export Group on Policies for Innovation and Technology at Technalia. She is going to explain to us what this challenge is all about. And then once we get through that, I'll see if I can't find the trophies that have been put somewhere in this studio. Begoña, over to you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Hope that you can hear me?
Yes. Certainly can. Yes, indeed.
Okay, great. So, hello, everyone. Thank you so much. It is really an honor for us to be here and to present the second edition of the Champion Talent, the second edition of this prize. Just to you to know that last year we also gave the prize in the Stakeholder Forum in Madrid. There was also many people around, but here, I mean, it is really amazing. So thank you all, the audience also for being there. Thank you again. And then, I mean, I'm very proud to present again this Pioneer Prize that we decided, I mean, and we under the EDIH project. And then this is looking for very mature digital innovation hubs in Europe. As I said, it is the first time that we were doing so. So for this, I mean, under the EDIH project and the project team developed some kind of KPIs, indicators to look for these digital innovation hubs. So for us, it is very important to recognize and to identify these digital innovation hubs, because being mature, I mean, they help others to learn on their path, also to exchange experience, also, I mean, to matchmake with other, to support other digital innovation hubs, and especially to exchange experience among them. For us, I mean, we try for the winners also, and for the candidates, and for all the digital innovation hubs that have been participated in our prize, to give visibility on what they do on this. Very briefly, also, the prize was open from July to October this year, and we had about 14 candidatures, and we selected from them the candidates and the winners, but this will be for David that to present. And very briefly, also, the benefits that digital innovation hubs that are being selected from this Champion Challenge will benefit from widespread visibility, obviously for networking, for guidance, and also we give them a recognition and a prize. So I don't want to spend more time on this, because I guess all the candidates are very nervous. So I give the floor again to David. Thank you again, and I will get back to you a bit later. Thank you, David. The floor is yours.
Begoña, thank you so much for that introduction. I think there's going to be some pretty excited people out there, some pretty nervous people out there maybe. I'm just showing up the 4 finalists now on this slide that you can see in front of you. So the first finalist is the Basque Digital Innovation Hub from the Basque Country region in Spain. The second is AM Lab from Westpanden region in Hungary. The third, ITI Data Cycle Hub from Comunidad Valenciana, Spain. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And the second is FZI Forschungszentrum Informatik from Bad Württemberg in Germany. So we need a drum roll here, I believe, right? And we actually have 2 winners that you can see up on your screen right now. So the Basque Digital Innovation Hub, congratulations, and AM Lab, Advanced Manufacturing, congratulations to the both of you. Just one word why they were selected. So the Basque Digital Innovation Hub, evaluators agreed that this is a very mature digital innovation hub that achieved great results. It focuses on Industry 4.0 and acts more on a geographical scale with very strong links to the regional government. Congratulations to the Basque Digital Innovation Hub. The equal first winner, AM Lab, evaluators agreed on the fact that being a small digital innovation hub with few employees, however, achieved great results. It focuses on additive manufacturing. So in order to, I have them right here. We have, let's see, there we go. We have online Christina Oyon from the Basque region, who will accept this remotely on behalf of their Digital Innovation Hub. Here she is. Christina, can you hear me over there? Hello, Christina. So there we go. Christina, congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much. It's an honor for us to share the DNet Champion Challenge with our colleagues from AM Lab. And well, this award is actually a very timely recognition to the work of the 21st Technology Agents, members of the Basque Digital Innovation Hub, and of course, my colleagues here at ESPRI, the Basque Business Development Agency. Thank you very much, all of you. It has been indeed a challenge for all of us to prepare our candidature, and I think this is, a very timely recognition. As I said, I think our minister also wants to say some words, and if you can put the video that she has sent. Thank you very much.
I think we're just looking for the video for you right now, Christina.
Okay, so I can continue if you want.
That's not a problem. Congratulations anyway. That's quite an achievement.
Yes, it is.
And we'll be sending that that award off to you directly after this event today.
Okay, perfect. It's really a pity not to be there with you to receive the award.
Maybe.
Well, I just wanted to say that we are really ready to join our international allies to support the Commission's effort toward the new industrial model leveraged by digitalization, and to use this opportunity to tell all of you, please don't forget to use this powerful resource we are creating together to facilitate the incorporation of girls and women in digital technology. Thank you.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Christina. I think while we're waiting for that video, maybe we can go on to the second winner, if they are online. So let me just take the second award, which is for AM Lab, Advanced Manufacturing in Hungary. And hopefully on live with us here today, we should have Barta Balaz, I hope I'm saying that correctly, to accept this on behalf of AM Labs in Hungary.
Hi, David. Thank you so much. We are really so happy with this, and also thanks for the great pronunciation of my name. Just a few words, as Christina said, we are also happy to be on the same floor with the Basque country because they are extremely advanced. And I'd like to say two things. First is that I think, as you also referred to your introduction, that we are a small region, and yet we could be visible. So it might be a kind of inspiration for other regions that they can also follow this example. And the other one is that it's not the size, but the commitment of the staff. So I think it's of course, I'm sitting here, but it's the team of us, all of us, who should be represented. And we are really happy. And thank you so much for the honor.
I think it really is quite an honor. You know, coming from a small structure to be recognized for the work that's being done. Congratulations for that. Congratulations for both of you. Let me just see. Okay, apparently we're having a problem with the video from the minister. Let me just hear if there's something coming. In the meantime, let me just say Those awards will be sent off to you very shortly, so you can be looking forward to getting something in the post. Luckily, everybody's working from home, so you won't have to go out and find them. Do we have Begono still with us on the line? Maybe we can go across to her to see a few words. I can hear you.
Thank you, David, again. Thank you and congratulations really to the winners. On behalf of TNEC project, I mean, we are amazingly happy to give the prizes to both of you. We know that you are great inspiration experience for other digital innovation hubs. So be prepared from now, because we will be contacting you for supporting us in many of the activities that we have thought for our DNet project. So hope the video is ready now. I mean, also before I would like to say also on behalf of all the DNet project team that we are very proud also to thank you for your commitment, not only to the winners, but also to the finalists of this edition of the Champion Challenge. Thank you also for supporting us in making this possible. And well, anyway, this is, I think, all for now from my part. Thank you all. Thank you, David, for moderating. And let's see if the video is ready now. Thank you. See you a bit later.
Thank EDIH for selecting the BAS Digital Innovation Hub as one of the two winners of the Champions Challenge. It is an honor for the Basque Country and a great recognition for our efforts to foster digitalization and sustainability in the Basque SMEs. The BAS Digital Innovation Hub is a strategic initiative that we launched 4 years ago that allows Basque companies to access the technological and R&D infrastructure and knowledge offered by the Basque technology centers, universities, and business R&D centers in a coordinated way in order to facilitate the incorporation of digital and sustainable technologies. This offer is available in a catalog of more than 140 assets that can be easily accessed by the companies. The services associated with these assets refer to the fields of additive manufacturing, flexible robotics, smart and connected machines, cybersecurity, advanced materials, digital electric networks, and medical devices and e-health. This collaborative effort has been one of our priorities in the implementation of the Basque Smart Specialization Strategy as a commitment by the Basque government to establish a one-stop shop that facilitates the digital and sustainable transformation of Basque companies. The Basque Digital Innovation Hub is fully operational. During the last 3 months, specialized technological agents have accompanied 52 companies in a personalized way in the testing of potential digital and sustainable solutions. We are now ready to join the European effort and connect with other stakeholders in Europe. The Basque Digital Innovation Hub would like to join forces to build digital trust for Europe's smart industry and aims to specialize on the development and implementation of cybersecure data spaces, which allows the development and application of safe and reliable artificial intelligence in the Basque and European industrial fabric. Its main objective is to enable and open those data spaces to support the insertion of the Basque industry in global digital value chains, ensuring the cybersecure sharing of data, to offer Basque and European companies with data-based products and services the necessary infrastructure for them to develop and test their solutions, and to provide digital innovation hubs specialized in cybersecurity and artificial intelligence in Europe, with an agile and secure infrastructure that facilitates the development of new smart manufacturing products and services linked to the Basque innovation ecosystem. We hope this approach serves to enhance European collaboration and gives added value for the European digital strategy. And before finishing, I would like to take this opportunity to thank and congratulate the 21 members of our hub who have made this recognition possible. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was the Minister for Economic Development, Sustainability, interesting speech. But then what would be a digital conference without a few bloopers, right? I mean, it can't all go perfectly correct. That's why we need all of these people doing digital innovation to make this so much better afterwards. So again, congratulations to all of those finalists, the 4 finalists, and to you guys who took the prizes today, congratulations. I think you can be proud of yourselves and your teams, of course, and those awards are going to be on the way to you as soon as this conference is over. So thank you for joining us today. Bigona will be joining us a little bit later for a session. Let me just check my notes. We'll be on the impact of European digital innovation hubs. That's going to be coming up just before lunchtime. So thank you. And just to maybe recap a little bit, we have around about 1,000 people connected on the platform right now. We've had 812, that's pretty precise, tweets since yesterday. 160 questions on the platform just for today. Some of those questions are regarding replay. All of these sessions, all of these speeches, keynotes are available, or will be, available on replay, including the bloopers, including everybody scrambling trying to find videos and slides. So please look out for that. Again, use the question and answer function. Please don't ask your questions in the chat because we probably won't find them. There's so much networking going on. Check out the virtual booths, please do. There's networking areas for you as well. The next session will be coming up at 10:15, which is going to be discussing the digital transformation acceleration. So please send your questions for that. That's going to be a panel discussion. And all of the questions that come through, the ones that get voted for the most, will be asked to our panelists. So I'll see you back here at 10:15.